Loss. One of those things that happen in this league. The one thing that we do a really good job of as a team and as an organization is we move on quickly and we go to the next task at hand. And our next task at hand is Minnesota. All right, so all hands on deck. Our guys are looking forward to the challenge. We as coaches look forward to the challenge. We'll be ready to go.
You always hear a lot of coaches say priority one defensively is taking away their best weapon.
Yeah.
But I think you've shown, even in Dallas, letting the best weapon go, you can still win a football game and still have a really good defensive performance. So where do you stand on that? How important is it to taking away the best weapon to an overall defensive performance? Is it critical or is it not?
Well, everyone has a different philosophy on that, and my philosophy is always to try to do that. But here's what I do know: I am a realist, and I do know some of these guys they're gonna make plays. I mean, you look at what Jefferson did, man. We had him doubled on a number of occasions, and he just went up there and he made the play. We talked about that the last time we played him. You look at C.D. Lamb. I mean, listen, I know everybody sees the 227 yards, but there was 92 on one play that shouldn't have happened. We missed a tackle on another one, which resulted in like 30-some yards. So a lot of his bulk yards came in that situation. And then we have to win on one-on-ones, all right? Because the thing that I do know, we're best, and we're going to try to be aggressive on people. And I think that's when we play our best. And our guys like playing that way. So, listen, we got to win on one-on-ones, but we also, when we got a guy double, we got to take him out.
When you say aggressive, does that line up with what Dan said about being more physical at the line to start?
All the above.
Yeah.
All the above. Physical at the line, be attacking with our play calls. And also, when we are just playing like true four-man rush, man, just being attacking with our four-man rush and guys beating one-on-ones. And then guys going to challenging receivers.
As a cornerback, what are the risks, the pitfalls of challenging a guy to line? What do you have to be careful of when you're physical at the line of scrimmage?
All getting beat. Yeah. I mean, that's any receiver. I mean, listen, in this league, when you play aggressive, I mean, some people call it risk reward, but it's the fact that you want to always have that mindset. And listen, as a corner, man, things are going to happen out there. You're going to get beat, but man, it's how you react to the next plays that come up. And to me, that's the most important thing. And our philosophy has always been, man, we want to limit points. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that against Dallas. And we want to continue to do that. That's the number one thing we try to do for the most part. And listen, we know there's some good players in this league. We do everything we can to take that player out. And our guys just got to go up there and just got to finish it.
I think defense is 6 takeaways in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Kind of what's fueled that? You just saw this quarterback. You had 4 picks on him
Yeah.
less than 2 weeks ago. Kind of what goes into the game plan and how does that feel?
Listen, you got to credit our players on that. They're understanding exactly what's coming to them. They're being aggressive, like we just talked about, as far as attacking the football. They're looking to punch the football out at any given time. And it's a mentality. And I told our guys the other day, man, it's becoming a DNA of ours because it happened last year, probably by mid-season. Now, we started a little late, all right? It happened about the last 5 games. But, man, our guys really understand that. And it helps us as a team as far as wins and losses, too. So when we win that turnover battle, usually we come out with a win. So we want to continue to do that.
How fun who played so well at the line, stopping the run, and also on this takeover, having
Yeah.
a streak since he's been in the starting lineup?
Well, listen, and I said this the last time we talked about this player, coming from corner to being safety, man, that's a transition. And, there's a number of things that he had to learn. And I think he's starting to really understand that position in totality. So not only is he understanding from a back-end perspective, but he also understands where he fits in the paint also. And, man, with the help of Alex, Jack, Barnes, all those guys working together, he really understands that. And he understands exactly how to blitz also. And that's really one of his strong points. You see it happen in practice, and he's just transitioned that from practice over to the field.
You understand all along that you like a lot of the things that Hayden Hutchinson have been doing this season,
Yeah.
but to see him, get rewarded with the sacks, man, what do you feel like that does for him, to end
For
the
you
season?
guys to stay off his back, that's what it does. Because the things you guys really don't look at, we see as coaches. So kudos to him.
Do you think for him in any way at all? I mean, was he trying to get those numbers or pushing, or for him as well?
Aiden was being Aiden. He was being Aiden. And he's going to do things with the defense for us to be successful. And sometimes, he has to be a guy that's going to have to take a blocker for somebody else to go. And sometimes we're going to put him in a position for him to go and go make his plays. And that's what's so good about that player. He's selfless, and he's going to do whatever it takes for us as a team to win. And he doesn't listen to all the outside noise. He gets that. I mean, I told you, once you get in this league, especially the pick he was at, two things he's going to have to worry about. Those expectations that's one of them. So, and he get it.
A lot of times you get to, the end of the season and teams are in spots where they can play young guys, sort of get ready for the future. You guys obviously a different spot this year. Just curious what you think you have in Broderick Martin and Stephen Gilmore, since they haven't got a lot of playing time. What you've seen from them.
Developmental players. That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are.
What have you seen growth-wise from both of those guys?
In practice, that's exactly what we're looking for, those guys. I mean, the one thing about Gilly, and I think we all saw this here in training camp, he's a guy that can get the ball back. And he's doing that in practice also. But, man, there are other guys that we have that's playing. I mean, it's hard to just play everybody. Same thing with Broderick. I mean, he's a guy that came from a smaller school. But, man, I said this before, the thing that he has to understand, man, how to use his hand, how to, pad level. And it's hard for a man that's about 6'7" to do that. So he has to continue to work on those things. And our coach is doing a good job of working with him on that. Absolutely. Absolutely. You look at the same thing with Iffy. I mean, Iffy is, 3 years, and now you're starting to see the fruits of his labor starting to show up. And listen, everybody's timetable is different. Listen, we all wish the guys could come in as a rookie and they could hit it like Laporta did. They could hit it like Jack did. But sometimes it take a while. And listen, we love those guys. We think those guys are going to be good players. We're going to continue to work with them.
Guys suffers a long-term injury. You guys have done a good job of keeping them around. I think probably helping with their mental health as much as anything. But what are you getting as a staff, as a roster, by having E-Man around your cornerbacks? What is he providing you guys?
Man, let me tell you something. That player, that person, take the player out, that person, he's a really caring person. He cares about his teammates. He wants to see his guys do well. Man, you sit there and you watch him in the meetings and how he talks and how he interacts with everybody. That, man, you want that guy to be around because he's a vet. He's been around. He's been around winning. He's been around winning. And that's huge for us as an organization, to have guys like that around in the building, even when, they have these injuries. So, man, I'm so appreciative of that player. I've always wanted to be around, and then imparting his wisdom into some of the young guys that we have. Gilly, for example, because he latches on. Gilly has latched on to E-Man quite a bit.
What did Kendall do to sort of catch your eye, weeks ago, to earn the opportunity that he's got in practice? What did he do?
I think he's competing his butt off, man. He's really competing, and that's what you want as a corner. He understands the defense. Listen, when he got here, it took him a while to get it down, just like anybody. But once he got it down, he knew exactly what we were looking for, and he's out there competing his butt off.
How do you think he's played so far?
Say it again?
How do you think he's done?
He's been serviceable, man. Listen, the thing is, he's provided us with a veteran that's been around, that's played. I mean, he's starting this league for quite a bit, right, with Chicago. So I look forward to seeing him get better each week.
CJ's probably itching to get back out there. We know your relationship. Just getting him out there, him itching to be back out there. How do you keeping him, patient in this process as well?
Well, he has no choice. That's what he has to do. So listen, we know that player wants to go out there and play. I mean, even when he was down, he was hurt, he wanted to go play. That's just how he's wired. But he understands the process also, so obviously you have to talk to him and keep him at bay. But he gets it. He gets it. And when he gets his chance to go out there and play, he's going to do a good job for us.
Another one of those veterans that you have in your room now is Alu. He got, I think, the most snaps of any defensive tackle last week. So
36 years old, huh?
Yeah. Just kind of curious how you thought he did out there, and how valuable, again, having a veteran out there while you guys make a playoff run here.
Listen, he did a really good job for us. You're talking about somebody that's going to go in there and battle and fight. That's who he is. That's who he's been. He's been on a number of teams, so he's able to impart his wisdom on some of the young guys that we have. So I'm glad that we have him. And I look forward to him continue to teach some of these guys. I mean, the thing is, I'm glad that Mac's going to have a chance to play next to him. And those guys go out there and battle. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Assuming that you get CJ back for some snaps this week, might mean some shifting roles on the defense. That being said, is it important to get them this week so they're not working that through in a playoff game?
Listen, I agree with that. And listen, all three of those guys are going to play because they're all like good players. And the one thing that we try to do as a defense is make sure we have our best players out on the field. Will they all three be on the field at the same time? Possibly. Would somebody be down and some? Possibly. But they're all going to play, and you'll see that.
I'm just wondering, did the thought of taking a roughing the passer penalty enter into his mind? Because I know linebackers don't sometimes have that clear of a path to a quarterback to.
Are you talking about on the did you ask him? Ask him.
I'm just wondering.
I didn't do ask him. You're asking me something that he needs to tell you.
Yeah, but also wondering then what's the coaching point on a play like that?
Go finish the play. All good? All right.
When you say all three, you're talking Kirby or you're talking British? With the, when you say all three of those guys are.
You're talking about safeties.
Yeah, so Kirby.
Yeah, you're talking about Kirby,
Yeah.
Iffy, Francis Nickel.
Yep.